Namaste, everyone. I welcome you all to the book study session. So, we were in chapter 12 of Autobiography of a Yogi. In page 97, the last where we stopped. So, let's continue. Yes. So, my whole body responded with liberating glow whenever I knelt in Indian fashion before my guru. Even when Lahiri Masya was silent, Master told me, or when he conversed on other than strictly religious topic, I discovered that nonetheless he had transmitted to me ineffable knowledge. Sri Yukteswar affected me similarly. If I entered a hermitage in a worried or a different frame of my mind, my attitude imperceptibly changed. A healing calm descended at mere inside of my guru. Every day with him, a new experience in joy, peace, and wisdom. Never did I find him deluded or intoxicated with greed or emotion or anger or any other attachment. The darkness of Maya is silently approaching. Let us hie homeward within. With these words at the dusk, Master constantly reminded his disciples of their need for Kriya Yoga. A new student occasionally expressed doubts regarding his own worthiness to engage in yoga practice. Forget the past, Sri Yukteswar would console him. The vanished lives of all men are dark with many shames. Human conduct is ever unreliable until anchored in the divine. Everything in future will improve if you are making spiritual effort now. So, what Guruji is trying to say that whatever his mental state would be, like in whatever mental state we are, if we are just when we go to a specific place, so you can say like if you are going to a temple or some high vibratory place. So, what happens? Your problem, your why were you worried? All those things just disappear. So the same over here, Guruji is saying that whenever whatever his worry, his whatever things that were going in his mind, once he enters into the hermitage of Sri Yukteswar ji, everything just vanishes, and he constantly say, like the darkness of Maya is approaching. Sit and do your meditation. So the that word, the darkness of Maya is approaching, yani. Sorry, those materialistic things or the practical things of the world which is overpowering or which is is suppressing your connection with the divine. So before that overpowers you, go sit in your meditation, connect with the divine. So that is the answer for all your worry. Forget the past, Sri Yukteswar would console him. The vanished life of all men are dark with many shame. Human conduct is ever unreliable until anchored in divine. So over here, Master is saying, Yukteswar ji is saying, forget the past. So the reason over here is the lines, the vanished lives of all men are dark with many shames. What I feel, it means that, people who have gone, who have left the body, so, or even people who have hurt you. So, no need to feel bad about them because lives of every human has a lot of shame only, and people are unreliable. Only that person is reliable who is anchored in the divine, who is connected with the God. You can trust only that person who is one with the divine. Everything in future will improve if you're making spiritual efforts now. So this is so true. This, I think, a lot of spiritual practitioner can say that if you make spiritual effort, if you try to understand things, decode the things of your life, why is this problem constantly occurring, be it your physical body, be it your finances, be it your relationship, if you see it from the spiritual glass and you start making efforts, the situation does change. And I'm telling you, it is a tried and tested method. It does change. So next, the master says, Master always had a young chelas in his hermitage. Their spiritual and spiritual education was his lifelong interest. Even shortly before he passed on, he accepted for training 2 6-year-old boy and one youth of 16. He directed their minds and lives with that careful discipline which the word disciple is etymologically rooted. The ashram resident loved and revered their guru. A slight clap of hands sufficed to bring them eagerly to his side. When his mood was silent and withdrawn, no venture to speak. When his laugh rang jovially, children looked upon him as their own. So, Master had, Sri Yukteswarji had a lot of young chelas, and what I feel that he's saying that he liked to train young boys. There were two boys. One was of like a 2 6-year-old boy and one 16-year. So he liked to train those boys. Yes. When his mood was silent and withdrawn, no one ventured to speak. When his laugh rang jovially, children looked upon him as their own. Master seldom asked others to render him personal service, nor would he accept help from a student unless the willingness was sincere. My guru quietly washed his clothes if disciples overlooked that privileged task. Sri Yukteswar Sri Yukteswar wore just a second. So over here, it is telling that Sri Yukteswar ji never used to ask for help. He would do most of his work by himself, and even if when his chelas would ask him to do that, he is going to do the work. Then also he was like a little saying not to do his work. Master spoke fluent English, French, Hindi, and Bengali. His Sanskrit was fair. He patiently instructed his young disciples by certain shortcuts which he had ingeniously devised for the study of English and Sanskrit. Master was cautious of his body while withholding solicit attachment. The infinite, he pointed out, properly manifest through physical and mental soundness. He discountenanced any extremes. A disciple once started a long fast. My guru only laughed. Why not throw a dog a bone? Sri Yukteswar's health was excellent. I never saw him unwell. He permitted students to consult doctors if it seemed advisable. His purpose was to give respect to the worldly customs. Physicians must carry on their work of healing through God's law as applied to matter, but he extolled the superiority of mental therapy and often repeated the wisdom that wisdom is the greatest cleaner. So over here, he's saying that the teacher was very he was strict, and whenever some chela used to say that he's going to do this work, he's going to do a long fast, so he would check his chela by saying that, why not throw the dog a bone. Sri Yukteswar help was good, and he used to, if any medical treatment or help was needed, he used to say, like, go and get that help. But he extolled the superiority of mental therapy and often repeated, wisdom is the greatest cleaner. So he used to, like, regardless the body is getting treatment, but he wanted, that they should also look from mental, like most of the things that were required, it was mental therapy. The body is treacherous, friend. Give its due. No more, he said. Pain and pleasure are transitory. Endure all dualities and calmness while trying at the same time to remove their hold. So he's saying, see, the concept is so clear. Like, he's saying that you will have desires, body will have pain. Just go address it, and then, whatever is causing pain, just move ahead, rectify, get it, get the remedy, understand why things are happening, and then you just move ahead. Just a second. Okay. Imagination is the door through which disease as well as healing enters. Disbelieve in the reality of sickness even when you are ill, and an unrecognized visitor will flee. So I think we have done this. We did this page. What I remember, like he's saying, like whenever a disease appears in your body, you just deny it. Just say it like as if it doesn't, you know, it doesn't appear. Like just deny the fact that the body is having disease. Master numbered many doctors among his disciples. Master numbered many doctors among his disciples. Those who have ferreted out physical laws can easily investigate the science of the soul. He told them, a subtle spiritual mechanism is hidden behind the bodily structure. Sri Yukteswar counseled his student to be a living license of Western and Eastern virtues. Himself an executive Occidental in outer habits, inwardly he was spiritually oriental. He praised the progressive and resourceful hygienic habits of the West and religious ideas which give a sanctuaried halo to the East. So he's saying that, he had a lot of doctors as his disciple. So he's saying that, the body is like a spiritual mechanism. The body structures, they have some hidden truth. He also told his students to, live by Eastern and Western, uh, like Western knowledge and Eastern virtues. And he praised the progressive resourcefulness and hygienic habits of the West, whereas the religious ideas of the East. So, whichever or whatever book you're going to study, written by Paramahansa Yogananda ji, you will see he always talks about the blend and the mixture of East and West, because he feels like, we need to adapt a lot of things from the West, and we need to take a lot of things from the East as well, especially the spiritual religious side of the East. And when it comes to mind, the way they are progressing, their habits, their resourcefulness, their experiments, their science, we need to adapt a lot of things from them. Discipline had not been known to me at home. Father was strict. Ananta often severe, but Sri Yukteswar training cannot be described as other than drastic. A perfectionist, my guru was hypercritical of his disciples, whether in matters of moment or in subtle nuisance of behavior. Good manners without sincerity are like a beautiful dead lady. I think I have done this page, but still I'll do it again. So over here, he's saying, his father was very strict, Paramahansa Yogananda ji. Ananta, his elder brother, was again, he was very strict. And now, Sri Yukteswar ji, he was himself also very strict, and he's saying that his guru was a perfectionist, hypercritical of his disciples, and he did not tolerate any nuisance behavior. And I feel that mostly, like, you, when you have your true guru, he or she is very blunt. They'll show you your dark side, their weak side, very bluntly. And at times you'll feel bad also. Oh my God, how is he talking to me? What is he seeing in me? What is this happening? But it is required for the growth of the soul, and only gurus can do that. No one else can do that. So he's saying good manners without sincerity are like a beautiful dead lady. He remarked on a suitable occasion. Straightforwardness without civility is like a surgeon's knife, effective but unpleasant. Candor with courtesy is helpful and admirable. So I'm also working on this thing. So he's saying, like, people who are very good mannered, and they are pleasing everyone. So it is like a beautiful dead lady. She's very beautiful, very nice, but she's dead. So good manners without action, without sincerity is like that. Next, it is saying straightforwardness without civility is like a surgeon's knife, effective but unpleasant. So, and people who are very straightforward. So it is like surgeon's knife, just cutting it, it is effective. It will do its work, but it's unpleasant. So he's saying candor with courtesy is helpful and admirable. So one should have balance of both. And I think it's a learning process. We are still learning. At times, you have to see how it goes, because I think I've been working on this thing for the past 6 years, but still I feel at certain places, at certain situation, I become blunt, very much blunt. And then I get this message from the universe, like the sandwich theory. When you need to criticize someone, you need to say something good, then you say the critics, and then you say again something good. But I don't know how. Say, from the past 6 years I'm working on it, but I'm still working on it. So let's come to the next paragraph. Master was apparently satisfied with my spiritual progress, for he seldom referred to it. In other matters, my ears were no stranger to reproof. My chief offenses were absent-mindedness, intermittent indulgence in sad mood, not observance of certain rules of etiquette, and occasional unmethodical way. So, as a spiritual practitioner, I have also seen that there are certain phases in our day. There are certain time in the day where what is it, अचानक से एकदम से sadness feel होना, अचानक से एकदम से lost हो जाना. So actually these are certain traits of the soul which we need to overcome. And ये इतना subtle रहता है, इतना मतलब ऐसे ये रहता है कि like you'll be not able to understand like what is happening. So over here, he's saying that, his teacher would used to be very strict on these things of his absent-mindedness, intermittent indulgence in sad mood. This happens with me as well. I'm happy the whole day, nothing has happened. And all of a sudden, I feel I'm in a great sad mood. And I'm questioning, why am I sad? So you need to be very careful, and you need to rectify. These are certain traits of the soul which you might be carrying in from many incarnations. So you need to have a check on that. Observe how the activities of your father, Bhagavati, are well organized and balanced in every way, my guru pointed out. The two disciples of Lahiri Mahasya had met soon after I began my pilgrimage to Serarampur. Father and Sri Yukteswar admiringly evaluated the other's worth. Both had built an inner life of spiritual granite, insoluble against the ages. From transient teachers of my earlier life, I have imbibed a few erroneous lessons. A chela Achela, I was told not to concern himself strenuously over worldly duties. When I had neglected or carelessly performed my task, I was not chastised. Human nature finds such instruction very easy to assimilation. Under Master's unsparing rod, however, I soon recovered from the agreeable delusion of irresponsibility. Those who are too good for this world are adorning some others, Sri Yukteswar remarked. So long as you breathe the free air, you are under the obligation of rendered grateful service. He alone who has fully mastered the breathless state is freed from cosmic imperatives. I am doing these pages again. I'm remembering very we did this page. I just saw the recording. It was like 6 months or 8 months back, and again I am reading this page. So I feel there is some thing that we might have skipped. That's why it's coming again. So he's saying, Master is saying that as long as you are in this physical body, you have an obligation to render grateful service. That means you have an obligation to serve planet Earth. You have that purpose. Only once you are in breathless state, once the death has come, you are freed from cosmic imperative. I will not fail to let you know when you have attained the final perfection. My guru could never be bribed even by love. He showed no leniency to anyone who, like myself, willingly offered to be disciple. Whether master and I were surrounded by his students or by strangers or were alone together, he always spoke plainly and unbraided sharply. No trifling lapse in shallowness or inconsistency escaped his rebuke. This flattening treatment was hard to endure, but my resolve was to allow Shri Yukteswar to iron out each of my psychological kinks. As he labored at this titanic information, I shook many times under weight of his disciplinary hammer. So as a teacher, he was very strict, and he used to keep on checking Paramahansa Yogananda ji, and like an iron, he used to iron rod. He used to always keep a check on his psychological kinks. So and even next line, these are like, if you don't like my words, you are at liberty to leave at any time. Today morning, I was just going through a video, and exactly this thing came. Like, when you get your guru, you need to hold him. And, and the guru is very sharp, very honest, very blunt on your face, and he'll say, this things are your problem. You need to fix these things. And, to the world, you can say that I'm a good person. Oh, it's not my mistake. You can you can manipulate the entire world, but you cannot manipulate your guru. So and the guru often says, like, you have the freedom. You, if you want to leave me, you can leave me. But in the today video which I saw, it said, like, even if your guru says leave me, you say, I'll go, like, मैं सर कटवा लूंगा, पर मैं आपको नहीं छोड़ूंगा. This was the lines. So over here, when I'm reading these lines, like I also had certain experiences, like, and it was so bitter experiences, like some people leaving your life, and you are very strongly attached to those people, certain situation, that you feel like, I cannot leave this person. Why is this person going from my life? Like, if you, you ask from my experience, I have seen two situations. One was few people in my life whom I was truly very attached. One was death, and the other one was separation. So I saw that I was so much attached to those people that when it happened, I was like, my world is shattered. I don't know what to do. And it took me, you can say, 6 years to overcome this thing. I used to again go back to those people and situation. Like, I'm missing this person, I'm missing this person. And but it is like, it was a hard, bitter truth which I have to face and just, move ahead with my path, my journey. And the second was, like, one of my mentor, she mentioned the Niti Niti teachings, which I would like to share. The Neti Neti. So the Neti Neti teaching is, like, as spiritual practitioner, when we get too attached to our spiritual practices, we are doing everyday meditation, chants, healings, whatever our work is. So when the time comes, when God will say, or your guru will say, just leave everything, are you able to, will you be able to leave that? Because again, there is attachment. So there's this thing happened with me. I started this wellness center with someone, and then, I was into my practices. I was like, this is, I'm doing it for my teacher. But certain thing happened, and I had to just be parted. I just had to part ways with the, you know with the wellness center, and I had to leave. And for 1 year, I was like, God, what have you done? Why have you done this with me? I am here to serve you. So, what I found, that first, everything is done by the divine orders. And second, again, neti neti. When God will say, leave it, do you have that, I think we all leave, but that pain, that hurt, because I feel the teacher knows, the guru knows when to leave it. He's seeing when you start getting attached a lot towards certain things, he just breaks it. Like, will you be able to leave it when I say leave? Are you that kind of a disciple? Because over there, I also had two options. I could have continued in a very painful way, and the second, which I was getting intuitively, just leave it. I followed my intuition, but it was very painful. So what I feel like, over here in these lines, if you don't like my words, you are at liberty to leave at any time. The master assured. So the teacher will give you a difficult task. The teacher will give you a difficult task, telling, over here, maybe my teacher is not in the physical form, but the teacher always communicates with you, and through energies, through intuition. So when your teacher says leave a certain situation, a person, will you be able to leave? So that's the thing. And on the flip side, the other thing that I have seen is that, when you are in a very painful situation, especially when you are in some karmic things, karmic relationship or a karmic situation, and you want to leave that situation, but then if your time has not come to leave that situation, if because we are all entitled by our karmas, we have done something, that's why we are in that situation. So there also you have to have faith in your teacher. like we'll say, no, master, this is giving me a lot of pain, get me out of this situation. But if you get that intuition, your teacher is saying the time has not come, you need to spend more time, there is more time left. So will you take that suffering as a prasad and do the job? So it over here I can say, like, people are also with that expectation that they'll get the guru in physical form and someone will guide them. But sometimes like, my gurus are not in the physical form, but I feel that they are constantly, through intuitions, through energies, they keep communicating. Okay, next. I want nothing from you but your own improvement. Stay only if you feel benefited. So, if the teacher is telling you to do something, is that teacher doing it for himself? No, they are doing it for us. For every humbling blow he dealt my vanity. For every tooth in my metaphorical jaw he knocked loose with stunning aim. I am grateful beyond any facility of expression. The hard core of human egotism is hardly to be dislodged except rudely. With its departure, the divine finds at last an unobstructed channel. In vain, it seeks to percolate through flinty hearts and selfishness. Sri Yukteswar's wisdom was so penetrating that, heedless of remarks, he often replied to one unspoken observation. What a person imagines, he hears, and what the speaker has really implied many may be poles apart, he said. Try to feel the thoughts behind the confusions of men's verbiage. So he's saying, whenever, whatever someone is speaking, whatever someone is telling, so be observant of the unspoken. What, what is the confusion in their mind? What conflict is going in their mind? So he used to say, be more observant. But divine insight is painful to worldly ears. Master was not popular with superficial students. The wise, always few in number, deeply revered him. I dare say Sri Yukteswar would have been the most sought after guru in India had his words had been so candid and censorious. I am hard on those who come for my training, he admitted to me. This is my way. Take it or leave it. I will never compromise. But you will be much kinder to your disciples. That is your way. I try to purify only in the fires of severity, searing beyond the average toleration. The gentle approach of love is also transfiguring. The inflexible and yielding methods are equally effective if applied with wisdom. You will go to foreign lands where blunt assault on the ego are non appreciated. A teacher could not spread India's message in the West without ample fund of accommodative patience and forbearance. I refuse to state the amount of truth I later came to find in master words. So he's saying he's very hard, he's very strict on the training. He admitted that is my way. And he's saying take it or leave it. He say I will never compromise, but you will be much kinder to your disciples. He is saying that he will be a very strict teacher, but his disciples who are going to be teacher to someone else, he's saying you will be a you'll be a little kinder. And I have also seen this, I've also felt this, because I feel Guruji, Paramahansa Yogananda ji, his energies are very soft. He teaches very lovingly. And we also encounter different spiritual gurus. And you have only one Satguru. Like in a school, there are many teachers of different subjects, but there's only one principal. So one principal, or you can say one class teacher. So in the same way, Sometimes people encounter different modalities and they are like confused whom to follow, who is my guru. Don't get stuck to it, because you'll be guided, you will be knowing it from inside who is your main guru. Other can be your spiritual teachers, they're teaching you something. So like what I feel earlier, I was like the course which I was taking, the teacher was very strict, and strict discipline, and I used to have to do everything in a very disciplinary way. And there was no schedule, no time. Like it can take the entire day, 3 to 4 hour meditation, or the entire day meditation. So that was step one. And then when I encountered my guru, so Paramahansa Yogananda ji, his energies were very soft. His energies are very soft, and he knows the language which your soul, through which your soul can learn. He knows, like, if you need a little pampering to learn things, he will give you that pamper. If you feels like now you need a strict voice, like you need to do this, it will go whatever your soul, the energy that your soul needs. He will transfer information, give guidance through that. So then he's saying, I try to purify only in fires of severity, searing beyond the average toleration. The gentle approach of love is transfiguring. And yes, when anything in your life, I'll say, I've seen this, whatever the situation is in your life, if you approach it with love, it is dramatically very, changing, transforming. Like, I have seen this with a person, like, that person is quite angry, quite irritated, and, always saying something bad when someone comes and, talk to that person. But I've seen, like, whenever I go to that person to speak, I feel like, what this person will say to me. I have seen this. He is very gentle towards me. So now the point is, if you have a lot of love in your aura, even the angry, irritated person energy will shift towards you. It will not be that anger and irritation. You will go to foreign lands, and over here again, the teacher is saying that the inflexible and yielding methods are quite effective if applied with wisdom. A teacher could not spread India's message in the West without an ample fund of accommodative patience and forbearance. So, over here, again, that thing is coming, spirituality balanced with practicality. Though Sri Yukteswar Ji's undissembling speech prevented a large following during his years on earth, nevertheless, his living spirit manifests today over world through sincere students of his Kriya Yoga and other teachings. He has further dominion in men's soul than ever Alexander dreamed of in the soil. Father arrived one day to pay his respect to Sri Yukteswar. My parents expected very likely to hear some words in my praise. He was shocked to be given a long account of imperfections. It was master's practice to recount simple, negligible shortcomings with an air portentous gravity. Father rushed to see me. From your guru's remark, I thought to find you complete wreck. My parent has been tears between tears and laughter. The only cause of Sri Yukteswar's displeasure at this time was that I had been trying against his gentle hint to convert certain man to spiritual path. So when his father came to meet Sri Yukteswar ji, so when a parent goes to a teacher and asks, like, how is my child doing? So over here he got a lot of imperfections about him. With indignant speed, I sought out my guru. He received me with downcast eye, as though conscious of guilt. It was the only time I ever saw the divine lion meek before me. The unique moment was savored to the full. Sir, why did you judge me so mercilessly before my astounded father? Was that just? I will not do it again. Master Stone was apologetic. So he was like, Guruji, why you told so many things about me to my father? And, he was not liking it. So he said, the teacher said, I will not do it again. Instantly, I was disarmed. How readily the great man admitted his fault. Though he never again upset father's peace of mind, master relentlessly continued to dissect me whenever and wherever he chose. New disciples often joined Sri Yukteswar in exhaustive criticism of others, wise like the gurus, models of flawless discrimination, but he who takes the offensive must not be defenseless. The same carping students fled precipitately as soon as master publicly unloosed in their directions a few shafts from his analytical quiver. So, new disciples often join Sri Yukteswarji, and he's very his criticism was exhaustive, means a very harsh criticism. Tender inner weakness, revolting, a mild touch to censure are like diseased parts of the body recoiling before even delicate handling. This was Sri Yukteswar amused comments on the flightly ones. So now again, when we are talking about the guru's strictness, I have also seen, I've also experienced one thing like when the teacher wants to make you something learn, he is very strict, and especially when the teacher encounters there is a weakness in the disciple, in the soul of the disciple. So, the teacher becomes more strict because the disciple might be carrying it since so many incarnations. Especially, I've seen with two, three qualities of people. One is this pride. I've seen people like, they have, as soon as they come in the spiritual path, the pride increases like anything. And how the teacher breaks the pride of a spiritual person? Through insult. Situations are created like either that person is publicly insulted or someone very loved one insults that person. So what happens when someone you love were so nicely and that person insults? The person starts crying, feels like hurt, like pain. Why is this person doing to me like this? I love this person so much. So humility is created like this when you are in the spiritual path, and the teacher works on this. And then yeah, and this is how the teacher works. And if there is some weakness in the soul, and if the teacher senses that, the teacher knows what the teacher will sense. The teacher knows, the teacher is very strict on that, and the teacher will give very tough time, very difficult time, so that those weaknesses are overcome, those weaknesses are removed from the disciple. And then there are some habits, the teacher is little bit gentle on that. And when there is some serious karmic situation going in the disciple's life, and when karmic situations arrives in the life, it is not very lovey-dovey, it is very, very painful. So when the teacher notices that you are going through a very difficult time, very karmic cycle, the teacher is very loving during that time. I have seen this, I have I have felt this when a very karmic situation arises in your life, and it is very painful to go through that. The teacher becomes very soft, the teacher becomes very loving, because he knows the disciple is going through a lot of pain. So your guru knows everything. Now, let's come to the next line. There are disciples who seek a guru made in their own image. Such students often complain that they did not understand Shri Yukteswar. Yeah, a lot of time it happens like, there are some students, they have a setup in their mind, like teacher will be a person who will be doing this, who will be doing that. They have framed a teacher, a spiritual guru in their mind. So what often happens to such kind of a student? They say they are not able to understand. So this is we'll stop over here and then we'll continue. Yes. Yes. So we'll be continuing this in our next session. Thank you everyone for patiently listening and follow the teachings.